Guys, today I'll show you a supernatural thriller film, The Empty Man. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Someday, Paul and his friends go hiking on a mountain in Bhutan. They stand at the top of a mountain and are amazed by the breathtaking scenery. Paul hears a strange voice that sounds like howling and some musical instrument performance. However, nobody can hear it except for Paul. Paul is curious, so he follows the voice, but suddenly falls into a crevice. The rest of the group are scared and want to rescue him, but it's remote and they can't call in a rescue. So the male friend, Angry Mustache, decides to go down with a rope to save Paul. When reaching the bottom, he finds Paul sitting on the ground in a catatonic state. In front of him, there is a strange huge skeleton that has 8 arms and hands. It doesn't look like a human skeleton. Before Angry Mustache can help him up, Paul whispers, "Don't touch me or you will die." Angry Mustache doesn't understand, but still drags Paul out of the crevice and walks down the mountain with the others. Right then, a snowstorm hits and the temperature drops massively halfway the journey. They come to an empty house later and have a break, sheltering from the storm. There is no injury on Paul's body, but he seems to have lost consciousness. Paul wakes up after 3 days. He whispers something into his girlfriend's ear in the early morning, then leaves the house. Hours later, others realize Paul is gone. People start to worry about him. It's dangerous for him to be alone outside in the snow. They follow his footsteps and find him sitting in the snow, blowing a bone flute that he found in the crevice. Angry Mustache is annoyed by his blowjob on such a goddamn snowy day. So Angry Mustache shouts at him in anger. But Paul shows no emotion and keeps blowing the flute. Suddenly, Paul's girlfriend pulls out a dagger and kills Angry Mustache and his girlfriend. She then throws herself off the cliff, leaving Paul blowing the flute alone in the snow. In 2018, James suffered from depression after his wife and son died in a car accident. He has to live on pills to ease the pain. He quit his job in the police force and works at a hardware store, selling some cam gears and hormone sprays. His days are monotonous and lifeless, raping him every time he wakes up. One day, his neighbor's daughter Amanda has a chat with him. She has been depressed since she lost her father. She even tried to kill herself, but she has found a way to make peace. She resorts to meditation and positive thinking, and her life has changed completely. She believes that people are capable of manifesting their thoughts into reality. James doesn't understand or believe what she is saying. The next morning, a call wakes James up. It is his neighbor. Her daughter came home yesterday, but went missing this morning. There is a message written in blood on the bathroom mirror, saying, "The empty man made me do it." The neighbor thinks her daughter must have been kidnapped, so she calls the police. However, the police don't want to take that shit, but rather, they suppose Amanda is just a teenager who's just blown away by her hormones. Knowing that she can't count on the police, she reaches out to James, the former police officer. James was a parent and understands his neighbor's concern, so he agrees to help her. After the search, James finds a leaflet about the Pontifex Institute in Amanda's diary. On the back of the leaflet, the word tulpa is written. James doesn't know what it means. With what Amanda told him yesterday, James thinks she might have joined the institute. He asks his neighbor to list Amanda's close friends and starts the investigation from there. If she planned to run away from home, her friends must know something. James asks Amanda's closest friend if she knows where Amanda is and when she last saw her. The lady bro tells James the last they met was 3 days ago when they played a game, calling the empty man with other friends. They were chatting and drinking on a bridge. Amanda told her that if they found an empty bottle on the bridge and blow into it, strange things would happen in the coming days. On the first day, they would hear the empty man and couldn't stop thinking about him. On the second day, they would see him approaching. And on the third day, the empty man would find them and take them to another world, which means he would kill them and take their souls. Right then, Amanda picked up a bottle and tempted them to blow into it. Out of curiosity and unwilling to lose the blow game, all the kids took turns blowing into it. They thought it was a stupid story, but when they finished, a dark figure appeared on the bridge with a strange sound. Every time when the girl recalls this, she finds it creepy. After that night, they all disappear, just like Amanda. James thinks the empty man might be related to the cult Amanda mentioned before. He suspects they kidnap kids in the name of an evil god. James drives to the bridge where they played the game to see if he can find any clues. He finds the empty bottle and picks it up. He also wants to test how excellent his blowjob is and then blows into it. Suddenly, the world has gone quiet. He hears something approaching. He turns around but sees nothing. Before he leaves, he sees a manhole uncovered. He climbs down and finds the hanged bodies of the rest of Amanda's friends. Besides them, there is the same message written in blood. "The empty man made me do it," the same as is found in Amanda's house. When he reports it to the police, the whole town is shocked. Later, the lady bro is found dead in her bathroom. It looks like she had delusions before she stabbed herself to death with a pair of scissors. She left exactly the same message written in blood on the floor. "The empty man made me do it." The police begin to take this case seriously. James doesn't stop the investigation. He worries that something might happen to his neighbor. He searches online for the address of the Pontifex Institute and the meeting of Tulpa. It is a cult that encourages people to sacrifice themselves and enter a new world through meditation. Later that night, he wakes up and hears some footsteps in his house. He also sees somebody wandering outside the door. He opens the door, but nobody is there. The next day, James goes to the institute hoping to find out Amanda's whereabouts, but he doesn't get any useful information from the receptionist. He briskly fills the form the receptionist gave him, then goes into the church, where the cult leader is giving a lecture about the cult and their god, the empty man. After the lecture, James asks the leader if he saw Amanda. The leader doesn't answer him directly. He invites James to walk around the institute. James sees a lot of bulb believers sitting in meditation. Later, he meets a believer who tells him that Amanda is still alive, but she is not there. Amanda has been promoted because she has great potential, and she might have been taken to a camp in the woods. Using the address the believer gives him, James finds the camp and some documents and preaching videos about this cult. It turns out, for hundreds of years, the cult members have been helping the ancient evil spirit possess the human body so that they can get asylum and blessings from him. Just when James is leaving with the documents and videos, he hears some noises outside. James walks out of the house and sees a fire over the lake. He approaches near cautiously and sees the cult performing a ritual. They spot him and pursue him. James runs back to the car and escapes in a hurry. When James hands over the evidence to a police officer, he is disinterested. Instead, he blames James for entering the cult's private realm. Now, James understands that he can only rely on himself. The police won't help him solve the case. James goes to his store and grabs some weapons. Later, he goes to his neighbor and tells her that Amanda has joined a cult. It's better for her to leave the house and stay somewhere safe for a few days. James slips into the cult's library, where he's astonished to find lots of information about himself, including his date of birth, work experience, a birthday coupon he used in a restaurant, and even prescriptions from the hospital. He also sees some nude photos of him, which he has no memory of at all. To get more clues, he follows a group of followers and observes them. He notes that they visit a patient in secret at the hospital each day. James guesses maybe they are visiting the leader. So he goes to the hospital with a gun, where he finds Amanda taking care of a sick man. James is so excited that he calls his neighbor immediately to tell her he has found Amanda. But much to his shock, the neighbor has no idea who Amanda and James are. Amanda tells James the man in the bed is Paul, who fell into the crevice years ago. The strange skeleton Paul saw in the crevice is the empty man. Although he is long dead, he can still control weak-willed people. He possesses their bodies and communicates with his followers. In other words, Paul is now a human vessel possessed by the empty man. However, Paul is weakening and dying. The follower needs to find a new vessel for the empty man. This time, they make one according to the empty man's instruction. The person selected needs to have a hormone-strong and healthy body and must be full of hatred towards the world so that the empty man can possess him fully for long. It turns out, James has exactly the hormone-strong body, the perfect replacement for Paul. But the problem is he has a steady mind. The empty man can't penetrate his mind and control him. So the followers fabricate fake memories and implant them into his mind. They make James believe that his wife and son died in a car accident. In order to make him feel guilty and suffer more depression, they also make him believe that he was having an affair with his neighbor when the accident happened. Right now, James is full of false memories, and he can't tell what is real and what is not. That also explains why he can't remember when he took the nude pictures and why the cult has all of his private information. Due to all those strikes, James almost loses himself and collapses mentally. He tries hard to struggle against the demon, but to no avail. The empty man takes the chance to enter his body through his mouth and possesses him finally. Shortly after, James shows his stolid face and shoots Paul, ending his shitty life. The followers all bow to James, who is now the new empty man. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.